Hi everyone, my name is Jenna and welcome to my channel Divine Direction. In this video, we are going to be doing the full moon reading for the sign of Gemini. So Gemini, I've done your video probably like 5 or 6 times now. It doesn't come out the way that I want it to. And I think that's a big reason. But I had this epiphany when I took a coffee break that I didn't give up. Okay? And I think that's a message for some of you. All right? Because your cards are definitely showing that we would benefit from releasing what's no longer serving us, that's holding us to the past and holding us or preventing us from moving forward. Because I'm definitely seeing that somebody is focusing on the past, maybe a little too much. Now, it's good to look to the past to help you see how far you've come, to learn lessons, to grow, to find the silver lining of things. That's very beneficial. What I'm seeing is somebody is dwelling in the past, and that's really preventing you from moving forward. So I channeled, we want to maybe take a day trip into the past, but we're not going to live there, okay? This is... This is important. Really, really important, Gemini. A lot of times we can focus on past experiences and think of ourselves as being a certain way, or give ourselves certain limitations, right? So maybe somebody said something negative about you that made you believe that you were a certain way. Maybe there are certain patterns that happen in our lives, because we do have the cycle card, that make us believe that we are quitters. That word is coming up, quitters. I felt that for myself before, and I think that's part of the reason why I had to do your video so many times, and realizing, I didn't give up. I didn't move on to the next sign. I just kept going, right? I just kept trying it, right? So for some of you who are thinking that you are a quitter, so maybe you've left jobs before, maybe you didn't finish college. Me too, me too. I felt that way about myself, but my guides are like, Jenna, you know what's really important? You've never given up on yourself. Like, you may have said that you did, but you just keep trying, honey. You just keep trying. You get up every day, Gemini, and you just keep trying. You're not giving up, okay? So we need to stop judging ourselves on maybe leaving jobs, or not finishing college, or whatever this is. But for some of you, this has to do with not giving up, right? Now, another thing that I was receiving from that is, we keep trying the same things over and over again, though. We're not giving up, but we need a new method of doing things, okay? Bam. My guys are saying, bam. Okay, there we go. Looking at our past and at ourselves in a new light, and this comes up all the time, right? So we focus on our past as if it somehow determines who we are now. Right? Did our past help shape us? Yes. But our beliefs about ourselves in the past, they don't need to exist now. There's so much that has happened between then and now, right? So much experience. And when we take the time to look back at it, we can see things differently, right? You have that distance, you have that time, you have that wisdom and knowledge, and we can see things differently. my throat's like so that always is my guide saying we need to talk about communication. This is about how you communicate to yourself, okay? How we talk about ourselves, all right? Yeah, how we're talking about ourselves, speaking more gently to ourselves. There we go. Okay. I've talked really horribly to myself before, for many years. And now that I'm given the opportunity to look back, taking the time to look back in my past, I get to see things differently. So one of my cycles, one of my patterns is leaving a job, usually after not too long of being there, because I seem to be the target. People just like to pick on me, and maybe it's because I'm nice, and I know I should cancel, clear, delete that thought. But that was because I don't want to manifest that again. But anyways, but that's what it seemed like to me, right? And so I would beat myself up, like, oh, I couldn't stand up for myself, and oh, I'm a loser because I could only last this long at a job, and all of those things. And my guides helped me realize, they're like, Jenna, do you remember when you used to work in the office, honey? And there was a person who picked on you and didn't think that you could do that job, and you kept going with it anyways. And I was with that job for many years. And they reminded me that, yes, did it hurt what this person was saying about me and how they treated me? That I wasn't smart enough, I was too young, all of those things? Yeah. I cried in the bathroom a few times, I'm not gonna lie. But I kept at it, and they're like, yeah, you kept at it, you didn't give up. So you're not a quitter, honey. And they said, why did you stay at that job, Jenna? And I said, because I liked doing that job. Yeah, I liked doing that job. Whereas the other ones, maybe they weren't really my cup of tea. I was just kind of in it for the money kind of thing, right? But I really enjoyed the other job. And they said, Jenna, you will fight hard for what you want, and you don't quit when you want something. They're going to make me cry. They're saying, with my depression, I have been through worse things. And I never gave up. Oh, it make me cry, Gemini. I never gave up on myself. So Gemini, I was reading this comment today, I don't remember, but somebody was talking about something like that. Like, they didn't love themselves. But they never gave up on themselves. And I just wanted to message them and be like, honey, that means you love yourself. You never gave up on yourself. Okay? So this has to be a message for someone. Changing your view of yourself because you never gave up. You never stopped trying. Right? You have the power within you, and you've been through worse things. Okay? But these bad things that have happened to us don't have to define us. And I'm seeing the word perception. So flipping our perception of those experiences and of ourselves. So did that realization help me change the way I thought about myself? Yes. Yeah. I don't think of myself as being a quitter anymore, because there are some things in my life that I really desire, and I'm working towards them. They're gonna make me cry again. We often belittle things, or kind of dismiss things that we have done because they seem like nothing to us, when really they are something big, okay? But regardless of what has happened, that is just a small part of your story, right? As my guides like to say, that was your origin story. And really, as the quote goes, and I'm probably going to butcher it, but it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish, right? So if we can look towards the past in a non-judgmental, reflective way, and learn from it and see how far we've grown, see all that we have come through and how strong we are for that. If we can look at those experiences and think, okay, why did this bother me? All of those things, if we can just learn from our past, we can acknowledge it, we can release it, we can let it go, and we can move forward, Gemini. And that's really important. That helps us soar to those new levels. When we can see ourselves clearly, see ourselves in a new light, and flip the script. So I'm not a quitter. I am not a quitter. I'm actually realizing that I'm very ambitious, and I didn't think I was before. Oh my God, it's like you weren't really motivated before, because a lot of the things that I was working towards were things that didn't really interest me. Same thing with, it could be the same thing with you, Gemini, right? Okay. The next thing that I want to talk about is releasing the comparisons that we make with other people, okay? So when we're comparing ourselves to other people, that is something that we really need to work on releasing. Now, if we think about, okay, I'm comparing myself to this person and their body, or where this person is in life, and I'm not there yet, right? Why are we comparing ourselves to this person? Why are we doing that? And thinking about that. More often than not, it's because we're unhappy with ourselves, right? And obviously, we're not happy with where we are. We're not happy with how we look. That stems back to us having self-love, working on our self-love, because I stopped comparing myself to other people when I started focusing on myself and focusing on my self-love, right? I stopped comparing my body to other people's when I started focusing on nurturing my body instead of hating it, instead of dieting and exercising to try to make it look a certain way. When I started focusing on putting more nutrients in my body, and instead of working out to lose weight, but being active to keep my body healthy and strong and to keep me healthy, that's when things changed, right? So when we start focusing on ourselves, my guys are saying, this is my favorite topic. When we focus on ourselves, that's when the true power, the true magic, they're saying transcends through us. Okay? There are so many different things that you can do. When I was having difficulties and comparing myself to other people, especially in regards to looks, sometimes I might think about, okay, what is it that I do love about myself, my physical body? And I might go through that. Or I would go from head to toe, and when I was on my walks by myself, and I would say, I am grateful for my hair, and I am grateful for this, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for my arms because I'm able to hug my parents and pick up my cat with them. Like, it doesn't really matter what you say, but I was trying to see my body in a certain light, in a different light. And that's, again, flipping the switch. Yeah. So, when I started focusing on nurturing my body, that's when I flipped the script. And that's what they keep wanting me to say, is flipping the script, because I'm changing the way that I'm talking about myself. I'm changing the way that I view myself. I don't weigh myself anymore. I have no idea what my weight is, and I don't really care. People can call me fat. It doesn't trigger me anymore. It doesn't bother me because I know I'm not fat. Okay? Honestly, there's somebody could be at size 0 and someone could call them fat because that's what people do. It's ridiculous. But that stuff doesn't bother me anymore. I know that I'm healthy. I know that I'm happy. I let myself have junk food and I don't beat myself up about it anymore. I don't care. I tell you guys, this weekend, so I ate pretty healthy this past week, but this weekend I went to my friend's house and I spent the weekend over there. And did we have a shit ton of Oreos? Yes, we did. We had quesadillas. I had chocolate chip pancakes for breakfast. I did have a pita, and there were some vegetables thrown in, but Did I eat the healthiest? No. And the experience of just sitting around the table and playing games and laughing with my friends and being able to eat these things and not feel that I was judging myself or that any of these people were thinking anything negative about me, like Jenna's eating too much candy or too many cookies or whatever. That thought didn't even cross my mind. The only thing that crossed my mind was, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying myself. Okay? Flip that fucking script. My guides are saying, sorry for swearing. But that's the thing, Gemini. Flipping the script. It can change your freaking life. I don't beat myself up about what I eat anymore because I know that I will eat healthy and I know that I can balance that out. My guides are like, boom, bitch. That's a change. That is a huge change because before, if I had anything, like there was a time where I was orthorexic and I wouldn't eat any sugar or anything of that nature, and I just tried to eat very, very healthy. And I was not healthy. I was not healthy. And now I am. Do you think that I would ever think that would happen? No. And it was a process. It was a process. Now that I focus on myself, building myself up, loving myself, taking care of my physical, mental, and emotional health, do I compare myself to other people? No. Does sometimes things pop up for me to address? Yeah, it does. But I know it's not my existence anymore. Ooh, my guides are saying there, she's hitting the nail on the head. It's not my existence. It's just something that used to happen, and I look at it and I think, oh, look how far I've come. There's been a couple of times that I've woken up and I was to go somewhere, and I tried on a bunch of outfits, and I'm like, I don't feel good in these outfits. I hadn't felt that in a long time. Not in a long time. And that was a wake-up call. Yeah. Wow. Look how far I've come. My guys are like, yay! Hey, she's getting it. She's getting it. Okay? Honestly, if I can do it, you can do it. And that's the thing. Like, when I'm talking about this, I feel so free. So free. So the diet mentality has just been erased from my mind, aside from the memories of what I had in the past. But that wasn't my existence. That never had to be my future, right? And that's what they're saying. These things that we think are going to be permanent in our lives, these negative thoughts about ourselves or these negative patterns, they don't have to be permanent, Gemini. We can always move through them. We just need to acknowledge them and learn from them so we can be able to move forward, okay? So when I was doing your cards, I heard doing things in a different way, right? Doing things in a different way. Now, this is an interesting one, and I'm sorry to talk about myself, but this is how this was manifesting for the reading, okay? I often limit myself and how much I believe that I am worth in any area, right? This is something that I have been working on, and it pops up from time to time. This is not my existence. It just pops up from time to time for me to, again, acknowledge and release and heal. But it came to my attention that I often think that I can only do certain jobs, usually minimum wage, and because I believe that that's all I'm worth. And there's nothing wrong with working a minimum wage job, but because it's tied into my belief about myself, about being worthless, or about being worth not a lot, okay, that's an issue then, right? So that was a limitation that I set on myself. The same thing with me dating, trying to find a partner. I keep seeming to go back to the same method because maybe it's just what I'm used to, or again, maybe it's just a belief that I am not worthy enough to have, to find a partner. I honestly, like, this is something that I'm gonna have to dive into, but even going online dating, there's some guys on there and maybe they'll message me and I think to myself, I'm not good enough for this person, right? I didn't have that the last time I was on there, but this time it did pop up because they're like, yeah, Jenna, please acknowledge that this is how you used to feel. Remember this feeling. Like, it's irritating me. Like, remember? Yeah, I remember. I don't want to, but I remember. Oh, I don't want to go back to that again, and I won't. But yeah, having those feelings that I'm not good enough. Okay? I am not good enough. Whew. And my guides were kind of like, Jenna, you've been judging yourself so harshly and judging yourself on what you don't have in the physical world, right? So not having a car, not having a well-paying job, not having a house, blah, blah, blah. And you look at these guys and maybe they have those things and you think that they have their life together. I'm sorry, honey, but because somebody has physical assets does not mean they have their life together. Maybe they're financially stable. Maybe they have a lot of debt, but they have those things. That doesn't mean they're stable. What's the most important thing to you, honey? That somebody's kind and how they treat other people and other beings. Bingo, right? Bingo. But I'm judging these people on what they have on the exterior and thinking, oh, I'm not good enough because they have more than I have. My guys are like, the fuck? What? What? My guys like to swear. I'm not really a swearer, but they like to swear. But what? Okay, Jenna. Okay, they're saying. And my guys are like, okay, maybe somebody's been working a long time so they could buy those houses and whatever. But you've been working a long time too, honey. Maybe not on the financial aspect, but you've been working on this. You've been working on living your life and learning and growing after trauma. Okay. I can't do that. Okay. But okay. Great. What does that say to you, Jenna? Stability, Gemini. Stability. You might not have your physical life together, Gemini, but if you are working on your inner, that's all that fucking matters. That's all that matters. Stability. Because my guys are saying, those people out there that you're comparing yourselves to, whether they're a romantic partner or someone else, something could happen and they could lose all their money. They could lose their house. It could burn down, God forbid, but it could burn down. They could lose millions of dollars because of some scam or something. It doesn't matter. These people could lose all of their physical assets. You still got this, babe. You still got this. And really, does it matter? Because more often than not, we can meet somebody who's maybe very good looking. They might have money, but do they have the personality? Are they nice to waiters? We're not going to dwell on that, they're saying, but we're flipping the script, okay? Because we've been looking at things in the wrong way, Gemini, the wrong way. Not just you, everyone. But, right? The vibes that I'm getting from this is we've been judging ourselves from our past selves and our beliefs about ourselves from the past. But there's a new way of doing something, Gemini. There's a new way of doing all of this. But we haven't tried it yet. So, for us to be able to move forward, let's try something new. Let's start talking to ourselves with compassion, tenderness, seeing ourselves in a new light, seeing how strong we are, seeing our self-growth, seeing what wisdom we have, what we've learned from the past. Stop comparing yourself to others because it's just a waste of fucking time, Gemini. It's a waste of time. It is. It's a waste of time. And start focusing on yourself, honey. Because that's when the magic happens. That is a new way of doing something. And that's when we level up. That is when we level up. When we let things go that no longer serve us, we see them in a new light. We say, thank you for the wisdom that we have gained from this. I say goodbye, release you and let you go so I can move forward now, okay? Now, you do have the surrender to trust card, and I love this. It says, trust yourself in your decisions. So this could be past decisions that we've already made, and this can be your trusting your decisions to move forward as well. Trusting in yourself and your intuition moving forward. My guides kind of made me think of myself, and they're like, Jenna, you didn't seem to amount to much in my eyes because you weren't listening to yourself. You were listening to what other people were telling you that you should be, do, or have. You weren't listening to your intuition because your mind was so clouded. So once we have that clarity and we remove all the noise, we listen to our intuition, that's what guides us, and that's when we can soar to higher heights. But when we spend this time dwelling on the past, Gemini, dwelling on comparing ourselves to others, it's just like they're showing me a hot air balloon, and all of, before it takes off, you have all of the ropes that are holding it down, right? Each one of those is a rope that's keeping you low, keeping you down, right? If we want to soar up, we need to start unraveling that, and we can do it one at a time. Let it go so we can move forward. Whew. Okay, this was probably longer than I was anticipating, definitely, but my guides want to get deeper. We want to get deeper now. That's what they're saying. We want to get deeper. It's a little difficult with general readings, but we really want to transcend the limitations that we have held for ourselves, for society, for this world, they're saying. We really want to transcend that. And we need to do that by starting here, focusing on ourselves, okay? All right, Gemini, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this message. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I see you in the next video. Bye.